What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefy back with another GhostColdMag.com live stream. Yet another chapter in the book of rock and metal. Yo, Gabe. Gabe was waiting. Thank you, sir. Erosions, the band, is also here. We are live everywhere through the grace of StreamYard and Satan on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Although TikTok doesn't get the full experience. If you want to get the full experience, you got to come over to YouTube or Twitch or one of these other places. Friday, almost in the world. Late Thursday here in the West Coast, the best coast, sort of. An East Coast transplant here. But yeah, how's everybody doing? We're here to do the rock and metal news. That's what we do. That's what we do all the time. In case this is your first time here, since 2012, GhostColdMag.com is your everyday resource for rock and metal news, concert and festival reviews, interviews with bands, and so much more. And even some geek stuff. Can't quite check the link you're sharing there just this second, Erosions the band, but I will check it out later. He who is I am is here. I hope that's a Dogma reference. Nelly R is here. So yeah, we're here to do the show. That's what we're going to do. We got a big show. Lots going on, lots to do on a Thursday night. Let me know what's up, what's on your mind. Share what's on your mind in the world of rock and metal. We have so much to talk about and unpack in this show. So let us not delay and get right to it. Gary Montgomery's here. Cool Hand is also here. Boo-doo-boo-boo. We're having some winter-themed fun with the December images, the cover images. So this is the Night King from Game of Thrones. Maybe the best thing about Game of Thrones. And the infamous Northern Lights, which is on my bucket list of things to go see and do in the world. I hope I get to do it at some point. Let us rock and roll right into the show and on with the announcements. And it's a bundle of tough ones, man. It's a bundle of tough ones. I'm just going to blow this up for a few seconds. This is just yesterday was the 37th anniversary of the passing of my dad. I don't talk a lot about family stuff, but I'm usually like crazy honest about my personal shit going on here, and you should be too. And yeah, my dad, my mom, and one of my brothers. They're all passed on, as is my other brother. So yeah, just thinking a lot about my dad, who died when I was a kid in high school, and was tough. And for a little bit of a life update, I actually I had a psych intake earlier, and I'm hopefully starting a new therapy campaign to better my life at the end of the year. So I'm really pumped, because this has been something I've been trying to get done all year long, is to improve my physical health, improve my mental health. King Snake Jake is back. What up, sir? Michael Luizio is here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all. Also in the announcements, this is a tough one. Ruth McArdle, a.k.a. Sherry Blue or Lady Galore, from formerly of my Lords of Acid, passed away. There was no like cause of death, but the band shared a loving tribute to her. She was influential on their second album. I was going to put the album cover up here, because that you would definitely know, with the cartoonish, devilish, and sexy devils, but they're pretty naked. And at this point, every time I post anything, even the Nirvana album cover, anything with even a drawn on booby or some kind of something area, you know, I get flagged or threatened to get banned. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, like, get over yourselves. It's just boobs. But she was killer, and like, they had a lot of success on their first record, but they became like a worldwide touring phenomenon on the strength of that second record, Voodoo You. And Ruth was hella important for them. So I love the band, and Ruth was terrific. So, you know, rest in power, Ruth. Thanks, Gabe. Look, you know, he had his moments. There was times in that picture he probably felt like a great guy. Costas Plum is here. You know, in that moment, he was, you know, doting over his wife and kid. He was probably pretty stoked, but the rest of the time, not so great. Tough guy. Also, this was a kind of a particularly tough one. I don't know if there's going to be some New York. I'm from New York City originally. There's going to be some New York centric shit here coming up. This was Steve Englander, who was the original founder of ABC No Rio. You may not have an appreciation for what this is. This was in the Lower East Side in the Village, and or sort of adjacent to the Village, the East Village in New York City. And ABC No Rio was a place that was kind of like an artist space and a political action group, but it was also like a foundational place for punk rock, avant-garde metal. Swans played some of their first shows there, like a very important place in New York City history. And they recently announced they were reopening in a new location with the same spirit the original had. So it's sad that Steve has passed away. Also, this is a tough one. Slim Dunlap of the Replacements, basically known as the replacement after he replaced the Stinson brother in 1987 and played on 2 of their huge albums. Slim Dunlap passed away at 73 after an illness, and a tremendously accomplished guitar player. And, you know, Minnesota is well known for their tremendous musical talents from Prince on down. So, yeah, tough one. And then this is another one. Vic Flick was a British guitar player, and you may recognize this image behind him. He is the original guitar player on the James Bond theme. So that do. You know, I always hear about John Barry and his theme songs with the great horn sections and stuff, but the influential 60s soundtracks of James Bond movies would not be the same without this guy's great tone and that sinister riff that he helped, you know, perform and maybe, you know, build part of. So, yeah. And then this was a tough one. Last week we told you about Tom George. Tom George is a friend of ours. So I'm a little behind on the slides there. Tom George is a friend of ours who's a music publicist. And, you know, he passed away suddenly last week of a heart attack right when we were going live. And it was really tough. It's a tough one for me. This was a friend of mine. He was iconic in the music industry. He worked with some of the greats. His first client ever was Static X. You know, he worked with Lords of Acid. He worked with My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. He worked with Journey, Neil Schon of Journey. So just a tremendous guy. And there's now a fundraiser on for his family, Snap Fund, I believe it's called. I have the link in the description, I believe, or I will add it soon. And let me make sure that I have that there. Yep, there it is. The RIP Tom George Family Fund. I'm going to just pop this into the description here. And, you know, hopefully people will donate if they can, because his family needs the support right now. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen this story this week. GRIMGRIMGRIM is a Jams Roddick Anderson is a metal fan and graphic artist in the Philadelphia area. He was at a show at a small club and he stage dove and hit the ground and had a traumatic brain injury. He's going to be okay, but he has a world of medical bills ahead of him. And so there's a GoFundMe on for this. So hopefully you can also donate to that. It's not a bad thing. And, you know, if somebody stage dives, I know nobody wants to get hurt, but like, you know, you could catch somebody. You could try. It's not the worst thing. Stephanie Montoya is here. What up, Steph? Happy almost Friday. And we're just sharing the news. We're just going around the globe and sharing all the news. Once again, this podcast and every podcast and live stream is dedicated to Sonia Ramos. She is a guitar luthier in Florida battling a late-stage cancer. And we're just trying to share her GoFundMe around. That's been in the link for quite a while. She did pop up in the stories in the last few weeks, auctioning off some more stuff of hers to try to get money for care. So we're just trying to help when we can, where we can. And just for some lighthearted news, we're still trying to get our favorite doggo of San Francisco, Sainthood. This is Django with Necro Butcher of Mayhem. They were both on their way to kill Euronymous. Django's wearing his battle vest right there. So, yeah. If you sign the petition in the description, there's nothing to pay. You don't have to pay anything. We're just trying to do something fun for the community and get Django Sainthood. Why not? And that's look at this dog. Look at how awesome this dog is. You have to sign it. We're up to like 350 on the petition now. I should update this screen grab. But yeah, help if you can. Meatbagged is here. Jay Luna is here. Wake Up Wayne is here. And another dog we like a lot is this dog, AOTY, named for Oderous Bulldoggocus, hanging out with Gwar. Kind of awesome to hang out with your namesake band. AOTY's been having some health problems. His owner is probably would prefer to remain anonymous, but his owner is actually a good friend of mine who works in the music business. So I just thought I would share this photo. This kind of uplifted me this week, that even if you're having a tough time like this doggo is, you can still hang with Gwar and be fucking awesome. Life's not so bad. Life's not so bad. You can do stuff. You can do stuff with your life, and it doesn't have to be so bad. Let's get the microphone in a good place. Sorry for the sound effects. And, just a reminder, we moved our newsletter over to Substack. You should start seeing that roll out soon. And corgi lovers here, hello. We were just showing some dogs. I don't know if you saw that. But Archangelic is here. El Dumero Uno is here. Yep. Bad connection, daughters volleyball. No problem. Enjoy the game. I used to like to go to, I had a girlfriend with a son, and we used to go heckle, like, terrible parenting, but we used to, like, heckle the referees at kids soccer. I doubt he would remember that now. But Cody, I'm sorry. Sorry for everything. As a bad role model. But we have a newsletter on Substack. We're on all the socials, as you know. Follow us some of those places. If you hate social media, we're on Twitch right now. We're on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook. If you hate some of these things, and that's okay, because social media is kind of a garbage wasteland. We have a Discord and we have a Reddit. So, thanks, Gabe. I appreciate you one more time. So we're on all these things, and we have a Discord with like a direct feed of all our content. So if you'd like to just skip everything, of course, we prefer you to come to our website, ghostcoldmag.com. That's where it all goes down. But just in case, we have these other things for you too. They might help. And Reddit. So features, let's rock and roll. Just a reminder, our album of the year content is imminent. It's incoming. We've got a YouTube video that's going to go live with a huge group countdown and an analysis. We've got a blog post with all the reviews. We got a podcast, whatever you need, we got. So just check it out. Let us know what's your favorite album, favorite single release. Maybe it's an EP. That Entheos EP was fire. Maybe it's an album. Tell us what you do. Everybody's hyping up Blood Incantation. I have to say the hype is real. They're awesome. Is it Knocked Loose? Is it Chelsea Wolf? Is it someone else? Is it Overkill? A lot of bands had new records this year. Pretty killer. Tell us what your favorite release of 2024 is in the comments. Also, just a reminder, we got a holiday gift guide for metal fans and rockers, or if you want to treat yourself, you should treat yourself. Life is hard right now. If you got the disposable money to treat yourself, treat yourself. And it may be a little late to get stuff shipped to you, but we have a lot of options for gifts and subscription clubs, and you can always, if you want to get creative and you can't get your gift on time, you can always like buy something online and get a screen grab of the purchase without the money and just put it in a little gift card and give it in, or wrap it in a little box and hand it to somebody. Be creative. Extra points for creativity. I once gave a former friend of mine, and there's a reason they're a former friend of mine. I gave a former friend of mine a lump of coal wrapped in 100 different wrapping papers. So they literally sat there for like 1, 2, 3, 5. They were like, yo, what the it was worth it. I videoed the whole thing. I might still have it somewhere. It might be worth watching. So fun. Petty as fuck. That's me, in case you didn't know. The Wizard 812 is here. In the words of Neo, Mr. Wizard, get me out of here. And then on to some other features. Top 3. Dillinger's about to drop it. Dillinger Compound is here on the Tube of You. What up? Drop those top 3s. Some premieres we did this week that I'm particularly stoked on. I don't know if you are familiar with Globelamp. Globelamp is the alter ego of the great Lizzie de la Pierna. And she kicks all kinds of ass. She was probably best known for the band Foxygen that she was in, but she's an incredible singer-songwriter. And we got to debut the very first song from her upcoming new album. And that song title is Fossils. I could not stop listening to this thing. It burrowed into my brain and lived there like RFK's syphilis worm. Is it Auntie Mosby's? I'll tell you, Gabe, your record is a banger. It definitely would make my short list of genre-specific albums. I think there was a few more that I had a little higher, but it's in there. When I drop my personal list, your album will be in there. Trust me. It's hard. I don't want to ever show too much favoritism to people that I know in real life, but I really try. But yeah, Globelamp, check this out here at the link. Curtis Neff is back on TikTok. We've seen you here before, friend. Thanks for being here. And also Bray Road dropped a brand new video for their single Burn. And this video, Bray Road is a reference to like an urban legend that is from their area of werewolf type monsters. So imagine like a guitar shredding metal werewolf, fire everywhere, and a band in the woods. Fucking killer. And a killer song. So I was really stoked. Dillinger Compound says favorite 3. Bloody Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere, Uniform, American Standard, and Piron. Again, man, that Piron missed me, which sucks because I love the band. I've interviewed the band and it just kind of went under the radar. I think some bands do not care about like playing the game of the music business, and Piron is one of them. But it is a banger album, and I do love Uniform. I have a fun story about Uniform. When I was still doing concert photography before the pandemic, Lovato, I photographed Uniform at a show in Brooklyn. And their front person used to, have like a microphone stand, but like a metal one with a metal bass. And they used to kind of like swing the mic stand around as they sang. And I'm sitting here at the front, and the thing is like a pendulum ready to knock me out. And I'm like, if this thing gets airborne and hits me in the camera or the face, I'm fucking dead. Shitting my brick every second of photographing that show. But what a good band live. So many good records this year. Chat Pile and Full of Hell, and oh my god, there's just so many. Dow. Brought to you by the makers of Trader Joe's Seltzer. Also, we've been doing a lot of live streams. Some of you are here because we've been doing those live streams. Welcome to the cult, and thank you for being here. So we bopped and shared some topics. We'll talk about them all later in the news, but just a heads up and a reminder, tell us what you'd like to see. Tell us how you do. If there's some stories we should talk more about, tell me, drop a comment. Somebody's watching on Twitch. Thank you for being here. We follow back if you want to follow us. We see some people on YouTube. So we did a live streams on just very topical ones. Slipknot and King Diamond new song and Soundgarden and Metallica. We did a whole thing on Metallica. Like, how much longer do you think Metallica is going to be around? They're down to their lowest amount of shows ever this year. They just played their last one of the year on Friday. And we have some more Metallica news coming up soon. And in addition, Metallica has about the same amount of shows booked next year, but it's half the amount they did last year. So, just kind of not that I'm rooting for them to go anywhere. Oh, dude. I'm like that meme of the guy behind the tree, like, Kylisa is fucking back. We've talked about them here on the show before. I will probably do a whole live stream episode on Kylisa. We might be bringing back our series on the Sonic Voyage done by my partner, Omar Cordy, where we do an entire discography deep dive in a video. Nickelsack Jack's here. What up? Nickelsack Jack, great comment on my Twitter earlier, or X or whatever the fuck it is. That story is going to come up in a little bit. Ritual Earth Doom is here. Kylisa, you have no idea how excited I am for this. You have no earthly clue. They just added a bunch more headline shows for Europe. Please, please, please play the US. Please, man. I need this band back. I love them so much. So we've been doing the live stream thing, but we also specialize in interviews with bands. And so our own Ragin' Rosie interviewed Aaron Stainthorpe. A lot of controversy coming up right now. Aaron is best known for My Dying Bride, although right now he's kind of on a hiatus for the band. And he has a new band called High Parasite that's kind of like a death doom goth rock thing that's like a little more singy from him and a little less death metal, although it's got plenty of brutal shit in it. And he, at the time that announcement had not happened, that Aaron is basically going to get replaced by Miko from Swallow the Sun on a whole summer tour next year. So My Dying Bride and Aaron, it's not an official split, but maybe they're not going to, they're going to take a break from each other, and hopefully Aaron's going to come back, but I just don't know. I Am Surreal is here. Hello, I Am Surreal. So yeah, but great interview though, talking about the High Parasite record. Forever We Burn is the new album out on Candlelight Records, the still around label. It's now subsumed by Spine Farm Records, but A lot of artists are still on there. Isan and Winter Phyleth, I believe, are two in particular that are on that label. Stabbing Jabs, we did an interview with these fellows all about their new album. There's famous punk rockers in this band from the Chrome Cranks and Gangrene. Great job by Morgan Evans interviewing this band. Also, just a reminder, we have a podcast, and this show will be a podcast, and all those live streams become a bonus podcast. Lisa's first show back is Prepare the Ground in Toronto. I don't think I can go, but I want to. And Meredith's here. What's up, Meredith? Appreciate you always popping into these live streams. Makes it all the worthwhile. And again, even though Spotify's evil, we did bring up our Spotify Wrapped, and we had like 138% follower growth. This shit blew me away. So whoever's a top fan, Ghost Cult is a top fan of our podcast. Thank you out there. If you are one of these people here, it might be. John Marshall's passing by. John Marshall 207. And then the Glacially Musical Podcast returns. Thank fucking God we are done with the band Foreigner. We did 4 episodes on Foreigner, 5 with our friend Don Delamont of Talking the Talk with Don and Southeast of Heaven. But we started a brand new series to end the year and ring in 2025. Glacially Musical Podcast, beer, metal, and swearing, but basically a vinyl and band deep dive podcast with my host, Nick Cameron. I'm the co-host. And we are starting our new series tonight on Obituary. You do not want to miss us review and deep dive analyze the first 4 albums of Obituary. It's going to be killer. And I think in somewhere in there, we're going to do a chaser in the middle and review another album. So I'm pretty excited. Just a reminder for our affiliate partners, we are part of the Lamb Goat Media Network. You know, Lamb Goat, the meaner, angrier, an aggressive version of Ghost Cult. Go in the comments if you dare. But Lamb Goat, they're pretty cool. We have a media partnership with them. When you're on our website, ghostcultmag.com, and you see ads, that's through Lamb Goat. When we gave away VIP tickets from Slayer at Riot Fest, that was Lamb Goat. When we gave away passes to New England Metal and Hardcore Fest to see the 25th anniversary show from Killswitch Engage, that was with Lamb Goat. And we will be doing more stuff with them soon. We're going to be doing some other giveaways very soon. A very special new giveaway that I was pitched today that I said yes to. That's going to be rad. Just you wait. Lamb Goat for all your needs. And then also StreamYard. You're watching this, except for TikTok. Sorry, y'all. You're watching this on StreamYard. Once again, what better way to attack the web with your wares? Do all the things. Have all the fun. If you sign up with our link in the description, you get $10 off your subscription. We get $10 off our next bill. So it's Dutch door action. You jerk me, I jerk you. We both win at the end. Nobody loses in that game. We all win. Now it's time for the news rundown, and we always start with metal festivals. Let's frickin' go. Devin Ashby is here. Two Star is here. I don't know if I said that. I know you love Obituary. We had a lot of fun with this first episode because we were like, just by the way, out of curiosity, it's like Obituary as like a brand new band and in the brand new genre of death metal that's only like really a few years old. It's really interesting to like analyze their choices of music making because it's like, what did they have to compare it to? Not that many records. There was really only like 20 bands in the whole world. Can we get a Blood Has Been Shed reunion? Well, you got to talk to Justin Foley and you got to talk to Howard Jones, who has 2 new bands and Light the Torch. Light the Torch may be on a bit of a break. I think they were writing a new record, but of course, All Shall Perish is making a comeback this January and probably next spring for some more touring. I would like Blood Has Been Shed. I saw Blood Has Been Shed play some brutal shows on the East Coast. Holy shit. Yeah, Gabe says, I'll be there, I assume, about the Glacially Musical Podcast and the Obituary Podcast coming up. Midnight tonight, Central, the new one airs. And I think it'll get up on Spotify, wherever Nick gets to it. So metal festivals, we've got some big metal festivals and event news to share. Milwaukee Metalfest has shared a few more bands and their running order. So we already knew Down, Chimera, Enslaved, Paradise Lost, Suicide Silence, Rotting Christ, and Fugitive, and a bunch of others on Friday. Black Label Society, Devin Townsend, Exodus, 3 Inches of Blood, Destruction, Between the Pillow and Me, Between the Buried and Me, Tesseract, and Necrot, a few more on Saturday. And on Sunday, May 18th, Gwar, Arch Enemy, Dillinger Escape Plan, Scowl, Scour, excuse me, Sacred Reich, my homies and favorites, Harm's Way, let's all do the Running Man, and a few more. Trouble, that's pretty cool. And more to be announced coming soon, so pretty rock and roll. All right. Midrick 8119 is also here. Also, this just got announced today. Post Festival, your post-rock, post-hardcore, post-metal, post-everything festival in Indianapolis, announced their first few bands, including This Will Destroy You, Pianos Become the Teeth, Glacier, Driving at Night, We Lost the Sea, love those guys, Pillars, and Isolation Drills. And I think they're all playing special full albums, except for maybe Driving at Night. And obviously a bunch of more bands are going to get announced. That's at the Hi-Fi and Hi-Fi Annex venue in Indianapolis. Indiana and Indianapolis getting some metal festivals. They had a Doom Metal Festival recently that Coven headlined, Doom and heavy metal, so pretty cool. Headbangers Boat is almost sold out. Limited cabins available, 90% full. And on this next slide, we have the whole damn poster. They announced the whole full lineup and running order. We'll get the running order soon. I don't think they're going to announce any more bands. Would you go on the Headbangers Boat? It looks pretty cool. Lamb of God, Clutch, Kubla Khan, Power Trip, Obituary, Devil Driver coming back, Fear Factory, Black Dahlia Murder, Exploited, Crowbar, Gideon, Walls of Jericho, Brat. So cool. I believe that's the show. Lamb of God is going to play all of Wrath, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Oh, no shit. That'd be sick. It could happen. They could do it. I mean, Philip's fine. Philip's great. I'm excited for Down to come back and play some shows. That Scour, we've been talking about that Scour new track for weeks. That record Gold is coming out eventually. I think in February or March. Pretty killer. Maybe Philip will make some time for N Minor when the Pantera stuff is over, because that was pretty great. Corey Westbrook passed by. Hey, Corey, what's up? Good to see you. Beyond the Gates has announced some more bands, including the return of King Diamond. And it'll be King Diamond's first show in Norway in almost 20 years. Holy shit. King Diamond, Opeth, Triptychon playing a special set. Abbott playing the Doom Occulta set. Celtic Frost of Triptychon's Celtic Frost set. Candlemass on a special set. Paradise Lost. Take, I Am Morbid Destruction. Lucifer, Tribulation, and a bunch more bands. That looks sick. We just covered Beyond the Gates this summer. Phil and Ben Wyman are tight, you say. Phil is no cop lover, and I know Ben has got family in the blue, but that's cool. I have a great deal of respect for Ben. Again, I'm hoping that Ben Wyman interview comes through with Omar at some point. Omar, the co-owner of Ghost Cult, just got back from the West Coast where he was drum teching for the God Forbid reunion shows. Nadia Ghost is here. Hello. Hello. Also, Noise Pop announced their full lineup today. This was sent to me. I have been a Noise Pop attendee in the past. American Football 25th anniversary set. Soccer Mommy. I would go see Soccer Mommy. Div, Danny Brown, Mercury Rev, Lankham. It kind of looks like an old CMJ show back from New York City. Reverend Horton Heat, Nick Lowe, and Los Straitjackets, Les Savvy Fav, Chat Pile. I'll probably go to that one for sure. And the Flaming Groovies. I see some other bands that Black Joe Lewis. So his name kind of cracks me up because Joe Lewis was black. Pinata Protest, another killer band. So, and probably a lot more. Can we give a shout out to Hellripper? Dude, I'm all about the Hellripper. I am working on another, we're doing a lot of end of year content. And one of the things that I'm going to do, Hellripper is amazing. I know people sweat Midnight a lot here in the States, and rightfully so. I feel like Hellripper is the European Midnight, if that makes sense. Just kind of crusty Motorhead metal, straight ahead, no fucking frills, balls to the wall, riff, kill. But I'm doing a piece of content of the top vinyl reissues of 2024, and on that list is, in fact, a Hellripper release. And they released a few releases this year, a few reissues. And also Hellripper headlined the Horde's X Fest, which is run by Paul McMillan, Slow Dragon of Slow Dragon Music, who helps Ghost Cult out with our news. So when you see some posts on social media, especially on the great Twitter or Instagram or Threads, you see Big Paul and his name. All right. I hit some kind of goal. Thank you for the lightning bolt, Ellie O'Connell. You rule. Thanks for being back. Cecilia Elizabeth is here. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for liking the live. Appreciate it. Let's get them hearts going. Hellfest is on sale now. Again, there was a lot of controversy about Muse on this lineup, but they're humongous in Europe. I think Americans don't really appreciate how big they are. And I can definitely see Electric Callboy headlining this festival in the future. It could just absolutely happen next for them. This surprised me. So Punk in the Park happened last spring, and it was not too far from my house at the Cow Palace. Never been. I couldn't go that weekend. I had something else to do. And they had Suicidal Tendencies and a bunch of other bands. And so they announced the beginning lineup for this year. And, you know, it's like beer. It's done by Brouhaha, which is the company that's co-owned by Jim Lindbergh of Pennywise. We've interviewed Jim before here on the channel. I'll link it in the description. So Pennywise is headlining, no surprise. Screeching Weasel. Isn't this band canceled? Ben Weasel is like an all-time dickweed. Like, he's so abusive and shitty. Why is he on this fucking thing? I know that that band has a lot of respect, and they put a lot of other bands on, including Green Day, but it's like, there's so many better deserving bands out here. Why this fucking band? You know, sorry to soapbox a little. The rest of the lineup looks solid. Lagwagon, Comeback Kid is fucking awesome. Interviewed that band. Good Riddance, Dead to Me, Manic Hispanic, and some more bands to be named later, including at least one more big band. So, we'll see. I could go and just not fucking give them, take a shit when Screeching Weasel is on, and I'll write about my shit in the review instead of Screeching Weasel. But anyway, I don't want to burn bridges. The Punk in the Park PR team is also the same that does all the Danny Wimmer Fest we like to go cover, so I don't want to fuck with them and find out, but fuck Ben Weasel and fuck Screeching Weasel and fuck you if you disagree. That's right. I'm all out of fucks to give. Just a reminder, Signal World got canceled, and I've been following the online chatter about the festival. Some people were promised refunds within 30 days. We are at about the 30-day mark, and I'm hearing a lot of people still haven't been refunded. You know, if you buy anything like a concert ticket, you should always get the insurance for any concerts or travel or anything at this point, because fucking all bets are off and shit happens. Look at Louder Than Life, that hurricane. Which kind of reminds me, I didn't put it into the deck here, but now that we're talking about it, I got email. I don't know if you guys remember that I interviewed Courtney Gaines. Courtney Gaines is a musician and actor, probably best known for his role in the original Children of the Corn as Malachi. I can't do the voice too well, but it was like, he wants you to, Malachi. I'll get you, Gadget. It's the same fucking voice. But Courtney emailed me today. I was like, what? Courtney emailed me. See if I have it handy. Courtney emailed me. There's a new Western North Carolina Hurricane Relief Benefit compilation. I will also put this in the description. I'm sorry I didn't put it into the deck. Marshes to Mountain, Western NC Hurricane Relief Benefit. Please take time to read this from my record label. You have a new single on this record, and it's a banger. All proceeds go to those in need in North Carolina. Thanks, CG. You know, it's super nice when Fake Fangs record is the thing. It's super nice when somebody reaches out. And when someone asks for my help, I really do try to help. So this is pretty cool. I mean, it shows like a destroyed house. It's like heartbreaking. And it's a lot of tracks. So this is, donate what you can, pay what you can. I think there's a pre-order for $30, which would be, a nice donation to make. And, your donations are all usually tax deductible in most cases. So shout out to Courtney Gaines. Just a reminder, try to get your ticket money back if you can from these festivals. Don't let them get away with whatever shit they pulled. Aftershock, early bird tickets on sale now. We're going to start getting bands soon. I don't know if people know this. Most festivals put early bird tickets on sale before they announce bands. Is it another fire in San Francisco? What is going on? Why? Why is San Francisco on fire? This is awesome. Dark Forst Fest is kind of like a Cold Waves East Coast, presented by Vampire Freaks. Wasn't sure that was still a site and a thing, but it is. May 2nd through the 4th in Parsippany, New Jersey. Nothing that great has ever happened in Parsippany, New Jersey. I can tell you that for sure as a former East Coaster. Orgy, Birthday Massacre, Covenant, Suicide Commando, Aesthetic Perfection, just covered them. Genre Torturers, Funkervot, Calabrese, Howl Job, Traitors, not the hardcore Traitors, the other Traitors, God Module. There's some pretty cool bands here. There's some very cool bands here. So, maybe worth checking out. Orgy puts on a great show. Birthday Massacre's fun live. Aesthetic Perfection and Suicide Commando and Genre Torture is pretty good. So, yeah, maybe worth checking out. Dark Forst Fest. We'll bring you more news on that soon. Also, my Slutty Valentine Fest is going to take place Sunday, February 16th at the Echoplex and headlined by Mac Sabbath. Mac Sabbath is kind of like on a never-ending farewell tour. But yeah, Mac Sabbath and a bunch of other bands. So that looks like fun if you had nothing to do that weekend. Just a reminder, this is coming up in about a month, maybe 5 weeks away. Planet Desert Rock Weekend 5, headlined by the wonderful and amazing Fireball Ministry, which will have at least an album reissue next year, if not a full new album. I hope so. You Need a Moss Generator, Dual, Valley of the Sun, Solace, Sergeant Thunderhurf, Germ, Watchers, Bonehawk, Lunasoul, Mr. Bison, Sons of Arrakis, Omega Sun, Fire Down Below, Godzillionaire, new album coming soon, Green Desert Water, IOTA, and Jason Walker's Bad Motorfinger. Feels like a show Stephanie would go to from New Mexico to Vegas. Norman Band is here. What up, Norman? Chase Rosal is here. Acid Maggots is here, all the way from the other side of the planet. Time travel through social media is a wonderful thing. This festival looks rad. 2-day festival in Japan. Punk Spring 2025 in Osaka and Tokyo. This is sick. This is insane. Like Bad Religion, Sex Pistols with Frank Carter, Yellow Card, and Pennywise. What the actual holy shit. And then I think there's the second day on March 30th. Iggy Pop, Bad Religion, Sex Pistols, Yellow Card, Pennywise, and probably a ton of other bands. Would love to go to Tokyo someday. Would love to go to Japan someday. Probably not. In Tokyo, maybe. But wouldn't mind going. Bells are ringing. 20. What's up, Bells are ringing 20? How are you doing? Media Cred and Slayer's Wine is here. What up, Jimmy? Good to see you, pal. I hope you're well. Just doing the thing. Just doing the news live stream. Once again, Tool in the Sand is just about sold out. But like any luxury vacation, it's going to be a lot of money. Tool, Primus, Mastodon, Coheed and Cambria, Eagles of Death Metal, King's X, Fishbone, who I think I'm going to see in a little while tonight, Wheel, CKY, and Moonwalker. And No Stoner. I think Brant Bjork did Brant Bjork Trio last year there. And No Stoner featuring to Desert Fest. Is that a thing? I didn't know that happened if that was announced. I'm behind on my emails. Again, I get to this point in the week and the emails just don't get read. They just don't get read. But maybe I missed one. We'll definitely have it up on the website in a day or so. That's how we roll. Monsters of Rock Cruise is sold out, I think, or just about sold out. There is a waiting list. They just added Night Ranger, who people who know me know how much of my deep love and appreciation for Night Ranger. I interviewed Brad Gillis here for the channel, and I had to literally contain myself because inside, let me get my ASMR voice on. Inside, deep in my soul, when I was talking to Brad Gillis, first of all, I fucking nerded out about Ozzy with him, and then I was like, dude, why is Sister Christian such a good song? And I was like, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. But inside, the minute I hung up the Zoom call with him, I was like, Motorin! Like, fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, Night Ranger. Tesla, Extreme, Winger, Michael Schenkner, Crocus, Stephen Piercy of Rat, LA Guns, Queensryche, Pretty Maids, Michael Monroe, Vixen, Slaughter, Vandenberg, Faster Pussycat, Wigwam, terrible name, Lynch Mob. We interviewed George Lynch last year. He's not changing his name. Hardcore Superstar, Aldo Nova, Rose Tattoo, The Answer, Chris fucking Holmes, The Cruel Intentions, Rhino Bucket, Shiraz Lane, Jared James Nichols, former Ghost Cult interviewee, Massive Wagons, former Ghost Cult article interviewee, many more. The Iron Maidens, Joe Hokestra, Burning Witches, who have a new single out. We'll talk about that. Live band karaoke, so many things. It's a pretty good lineup. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. It looks pretty good. MC'd by Eddie Trunk, who people either love or hate. Fish Boy is here. Shabby One is here. Mike is here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for anybody being here. If you pass by for 1 second, I appreciate you. So we've been talking about Wacken Open Air Metal Battle all over the world to play at Wacken Open Air. The U.S. deadline has passed to apply. The shows have been announced for Ontario, a.k.a. Toronto and the surrounding area, and British Columbia, the way other side of the country. So this is starting to heat up. It takes them, they literally take till June to compete, battle the bands, rinse, repeat. Somebody wins, move on to the next round, the bracket, the this, the that. It's pretty cool. Ghost Cult is an official media partner of Metal Battle by Wacken Open Air. This hilarious picture of Phil Demmel and Eddie Trunk is from the Stand Up and Shout Ronnie James Dio cancer bowling event that happens every year. They raised over $70,000 to fight cancer. Celebrity teams, music industry types, band people. It's always a good time. We've covered it. We've covered the ride for Ronnie, the bowl for Ronnie. I love this bowling ball with a skull in it. Phil Demmel is hilarious. Jesus, guy. He's so funny. I see him around here. He's super chill. I love talking to him. And he'll talk to you about music anytime, unless he's, with his family. So here's Tom Morello, Eddie Trunk, Wendy Dio, and Chavo from System of a Down, all hanging out at the black carpet or the red carpet. I wouldn't live in LA, but LA seems like a fun place where at least once a month there's probably like a high likelihood that some celebrity types are going to hang out and do something for charity or something positive. So that's cool. LA to me is like Vegas. I can only do a couple of days there and then I get fucking weird. It gets too weird for me, I don't know, maybe you. This is the most disappointing photo I have ever found on the internet, except for that one photo of my mom. All I wanted was a Diet Coke. Mike, what are you doing? Why do you have a Diet Coke? Horrible. I do love this late 80s, early 90s version of Suicidal with Rob Trujillo there in the background. He looks fucking wrecked and hung over. And Rocky George, who I love a lot and I would love to interview someday. So a lot of fun. Jeff Papon is here. It's Antonio. It's me, Mario. All right, concerts. That was all the festivals. Let's blast through the concerts. There are a lot of them. So the System of a Down sold out those 6 stadium shows more or less. And I know some people that were livid because Live Nation, of course, did the dynamic pricing. Ghost Cult used to take advertising money from Live Nation. We rely on Live Nation to go cover shows all over the world. But I have to call out hypocrisy and bullshit when I see it. And so the original tickets were pricey because, it's a stadium show and it's, probably a huge production with video and lights and shit. And J Shadow 47 is here. And these tickets not only sold out quickly, there was like escalating prices. And again, there's a demand, and I understand that Live Nation and Ticketmaster own the service and all the venues and the marketing and all the billboards and on and on and on. So it just seems fucked up. Some people paid as much as $1,200 a ticket for the nosebleeds to see this show. And then here's the layout for the stadium shows. So just to let you know if you're going, and you have to look at your ticket very carefully. So if you're watching this, this is a screen grab I grabbed off of Reddit. Sorry, whoever's phone this is. It seems private. So there's a front and a back GA, just like at most metal festivals. This is for crowd control because you don't want people getting squished up front. So if you're going to have 80,000 people in a stadium and the floor of the stadium holds many thousands of people, you cannot let 10,000 people bum rush 15,000 people. You will kill people. But a lot of people are mad because they didn't know when they bought their tickets to pay attention to where in the GA they are. So you just might be on the floor, but all the way back at the end. Just to let you know, get there early, see all the bands. And then they went ahead and booked a South American tour. They're not doing anything else. We're breaking up. We're not coming back. Serge doesn't want to be in the band. Nope. We booked a whole South American soccer stadium tour. So I think it's safe to say System of a Down's probably got some more stuff up their sleeves. They're probably making more money than they have ever made in their lives. They haven't toured a lot. And there's still a lot of people who I feel like System is a bucket list band they haven't seen. Have you seen System of a Down? Do you not like System of a Down? Do you think they should stay together? Should they break up? What do you think? We did a whole live stream on this. You might have been here for it. Guns N' Roses tickets are on sale now for their Because What You Want and What You Get are two completely different things tour. Just too much of a fucking mouthful, guy. Come on. Axl definitely made that name up. Jesus, bro. Do better. Pick a fucking easier name, please. Public Enemy to open some shows with Rival Sons, some shows with Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter or Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. Very cool. Looking forward to South American and North American tour dates very soon. And hopefully some new music, man. We've been hearing on and on about new music from GNR. Let's fucking go. Static X has announced the Machines vs. Monsters tour with Gwar, Dope, and some other bands. It's not a lot of dates, but I think it's pretty impressive. Static X continues to tour behind Project Regeneration. I want to keep saying Project Revolution. Arch Enemy dropped a new single and a headline tour this week, so that's pretty cool. Cavalera, this is amazing. Max and Igor's Cavalera or Cavalera Conspiracy, depending on what social media network you're on, has booked the Third World Trilogy U.S. tour with Necrot and Dead Heat, killer bands all, and basically they're going to play the first 3 Sepultura records, mostly in full, I believe. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, the font and the color and the look of you can kind of see hints of Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation's remixed artwork from the recent reissues and re-recordings. And then you see the Schizophrenia color scheme and a little Schizophrenia in the top left-hand corner around the Necrot logo. Very cool. Melvins have announced the Spring Break tour with special guests. This is pretty notable. Melvins are going to be joined on tour, I believe, for most of 2025 by Cody Willis of a bunch of bands, but notably Big Business and High on Fire. Hopefully it doesn't impact High on Fire and Big Business, but Cody is going to do double. They're going to do double duty as Dale Crover's just returning from surgeries and stuff, but he should be good to go for a tour. And here's Melvins as a 3-piece with Stephen McDonald and Dale Crover there. This is a super bummer. The Damned canceled their show tonight, so it already would have happened already at the Roundhouse in London. The Damned have been on a huge tour the last few years. The veteran 50-year-old punk band has a bunch of tour dates lined up all over the world next year, including the USA for festivals and tours. But their old Captain Sensible has taken unwell, and despite his protestations, the doctor has decided that he is simply not able to go on stage. It has been an amazing tour, but everyone's health must come first. Have a Merry Christmas, and we wish you all a Happy New Year. So that was their last day of the tour, and people had flown in for it. That is a bummer. That is a bummer. Jacob McCoy is here. Le Batour is here. Gator is here. Shoebill is here. What else? Darsambra, former Ghost Cult interviewees. I saw them live this year. It was pretty amazing. Wind Tour 2025 kicking off in Philadelphia at Johnny and Brenda's. And I believe that wraps up. It wraps up. They're tireless folks. That when they tour like mother fudges. Philadelphia, Durham, Wilmington, North Carolina, where some of my homies live, Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Orlando, Savannah, Georgia. That's a big drive in one day. And then Greenville, North Carolina. You belong in Greenbow. That's Alabama, not North Carolina. All right. But Darsambra, super cool. Definitely an experience you need to see. Auntie Ma's Beast is also here. Joined in on the Tick of the Talk. I appreciate you. Or on Instagram. Chaos and Carnage Tour. We knew this was coming. You knew this was coming, Pete. Dying Fetus and Cradle of Filth co-headlining. Flesh God, Apocalypse, Knee of Lascaris, Undeath, Vomit Flesh. This is kind of crazy. Like some deathcore and some death metal, and then some operatic symphonic death metal, and then whatever the fuck Knee of Lascaris is. And Dying Fetus and Cradle. Dying Fetus has done like 4 headline or co-headline tours for their current record. Full Beat Rockers here. What up? Danielle 721 is also passed by. Stephanie has passed by. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Zakk Sabbath had postponed some shows last weekend because Zakk Wylde lost his voice. And they have postponed some new shows to January while Zakk recuperates for the holidays. He's been going hard. He's been going hard between Black Label Society and this Zakk Sabbath stuff. Interestingly enough, he has these, I think I previously assumed that the historic and recorded lineup of Zakk Sabbath was going to go on tour, but no, it is Zakk Wylde with JD DeServo and Jeff Fab from Black Label Society filling in. But all in all, I saw some video of that tour and it looked really fun good. Whitechapel's announced a headline tour. Very cool stuff from Whitechapel. 200 Stab Wounds is one of the openers. That's pretty badass. Muddy Roots has announced their first bunch of bands, including our homeboy Amigo the Devil, former Ghost Cult interviewee. Muddy Roots in Eastern Tennessee. Bring your own beer, but basically doom, outlaw country, punk, bluegrass, folk music, all kinds of dark folk and great shit there. That's a great festival. The Who, not The Who, the 60s rock band, but the HU, The Who, the Mongolian metal band, has announced their Incarnation World Tour 2025, kicking off in the Netherlands, where Ghost Cult was founded. Any news about Scour? I haven't heard yet about Scour, but I have to imagine they've got to fit that tour in around Down and Pantera. So can't be extensive, but they could book some stuff. I can't imagine them just not do any shows, right? Like they've got to support that album. It's the only way to sell it, you know? I know Philip has his fans that will just buy everything he does, but yeah, just saying. Just saying. Also, Poison the Well doing the Opposite of December tour with Glassjaw, Better Lovers, and more. Very, very cool. Big Poison the Well fan here. Would love to get a new interview with them. Biohazard Life of Agony co-headlining tour for Europe. Life of Agony just wrapped up their recent European tour. They've been doing like an evening with acoustic concerts and their documentary screening and then a Q&A. So now they're going to go back to electric full band and do this tour. I really would love to see this tour come to the US, starting off in the UK and ending in Amsterdam. So basically all of Western and Central and Eastern Europe. Pretty cool. A lot of UK dates. They're so big in Europe. It's a surprise that neither of these bands, they're awesome and they're loved. I'd like them to be bigger here. Just a reminder, Randy Blythe, a.k.a. D. Randall Blythe of Lamb of God, is his new book coming out, Just Beyond the Light. I believe I'm going to get a copy for review and start working on that soon. And he has announced a bunch of spoken word tours, including a little place here in San Francisco called The Independent. That's a dope venue that I saw. I've seen Billy Howardell there. I've seen Metallica there in a tiny room. That was sick. Perpetual European Biohazard Tour. What's Canada? Chopped liver, right? No fucking love. Canada's a pain in the ass, and US is about to be a pain in the ass. I don't know if people are aware of this. Just for a second here, I'm going to opine. I'm going to pontificate, as my partner says I like to do. It costs a lot of money to go between the countries. Because of Brexit, it's still very expensive to go between the UK and the rest of Europe. And last year, because of the rise in expensive cost of visas post-pandemic, it cost triple the amount of money to get into the U.S. for a European band. And for many years, for bands from other parts of the world, Mexico and South America, they skipped the U.S. and they went to Canada and then Europe. And they would fly from Europe to Toronto or Vancouver and back down. So, and those prices are going to go up again. They're predicted to go up another 20%. This shit is fucking robbery, yo. We're gonna start. I mean, I'm surprised that all these bands have already got their shit bought, got their visas approved, bought their tickets, but next year might be a whole different fucking game. This is Marcus King, the great bluesman, the modern bluesman. He just announced a headline tour of the U.S. Very exciting time for him with a new album out. Kerry King had previously announced his European tour, and the London shows will be opened by Fear Factory. So that's pretty cool. A bonus Fear Factory with every Kerry King English show, Britain show, Great Britain. I don't know. Just to remind, we do a lot of events and geek stuff, and I don't really promote that shit well enough, to be honest with you. We love stuff like Comic-Con, and we went to Spooky Empire in 2018, and we hosted panels and talked about metal and rock and Toy Fair, man. We're going to try to do Toy Fair next year. Toy Fair got announced, and it's really a business-to-business thing. But things that happen at Toy Fair affect the music world too, because Super 7 and Knucklebones and, what was Incendium and is now Ruptura Comics, these figures and toys and stuff and Funkos all get announced and released at Toy Fair. So we're going to try to do a new thing and do Toy Fair. But we've done a bunch of Comic Cons and stuff like that, and geek culture and things. And, you know, I need to kind of put my lens on that a little better. And I might try to I've never done San Diego Comic Con, and I realize it might be a clusterfuck for me. But I kind of want to go. I've never gone. And then I can go back to the San Diego Zoo and hopefully see the fucking Komodo dragon. Because when I went, he wasn't there. He was in hiding. Guitarist, your guitar tone is awful. No, it's not. Black metal guitarist, your guitar tone is awful. Thank you. I say nothing else. All right, that was all the concerts and tours and one-off events and things. And now we're going to talk about the metal news. And there's so much drama this week. Oh, my God. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go. If Nickelsack Jack is here, it's your time to shine, homie. Finn McKenty, Jesus Christ. Finn McKenty, the punk rock MBA, has quit making content. He has quit his YouTube channel. He's probably going to delete it all. He has quit Twitch. He's quit his community. He quit his Discord. And basically gave an interview with Jesse Lee, who's a TikTok personality. And usually you see him, I'm like, I went to Warped Tour and interviewed all the bands. He's super nice and super cool. I had one interaction with him, and he was mad nice. And Finn McKenty basically said, I don't care about music at all. I never cared about most of these bands I did video content on. I was here only for the money. I made all my financial goals, and I bailed. I don't care about any of this stuff. And it seems very insincere. And I liked Finn McKenty for a long time. I also work in music marketing. That's where he really made his bones. I interviewed him once before, and he was kind of douchey to me. You know, rather than be humble, he was kind of arrogant. I always found him to be kind of arrogant and a cop lover and a bootlicker. But okay, fine. And kind of a narc. He's the kind of guy that would narc you out because he's judgmental of people who do drugs. But okay, that aside, like to say, like, I don't care about music. I was doing it for the money. A lot of people really admired this guy. And, oh, he's so knowledgeable. He literally was like, I've never listened to one System of a Down song on purpose. I was like, never? Never. So, like, he made so many videos about new metal because it was trendy. He dislikes black metal, and people flamed him. He has some very cringy guests and takes also, on a pretty right-wing side. But, like, whatever. A lot of people disagree with me on my politics. But thoughts on Finn McKenty, the grifter, basically. And he kind of is transitioning into this space. Like, he's done very well for himself. He's really bright in terms of music marketing and marketing in general. So now he's going to be an influencer, and he's on LinkedIn, and he's posting stuff on there, and he's trying to sell himself. Buy my course and learn how to be a YouTuber like I did. But I'm like, if you're trying to sell your success as what you built on YouTube, it's kind of assholery to fucking then neg your whole fan base that did look up to him and appreciate him. So basically, I don't like my fans. They're all idiots. Cool. And yeah, you know. I may come back to this space that he has left, not the reaction to like, what, get outraged about metalcore and this band should have been bigger, not that shit. But I might jump my toe back into music marketing in 2025 and give some free advice to bands because I'm not a fucking asshole that hates music. I love music. Music's a whole part of my life and not my whole identity, but my whole life. And so if you know, we don't need tourists. We need fucking diehards. You know what I'm saying? This is Sparta! That's my whole fucking thing. Sorry, I'm yelling. I'm very yelly tonight. What the fuck? That's my third cup of coffee. Holy fuck. And on like I barely ate 2 meals today. Slipknot drama. Look outside your window. Will it come out or will it won't? A year ago, we wrote a story based on an interview Clown gave when he was like, it's definitely coming out. It's coming out this spring. I promise it's coming out. And it didn't come out. And they've been busy all year with the 25th anniversary stuff. Clown is putting together a retrospective documentary. Yeah, you know, he claimed to be big into DEP. He said, I used to listen, like, he's the guy, really quick about Finn McKenty. I used to have a friend, I played in bands for 20 years. I made a couple of records. Most of you would have never seen me. I have one song on Bandcamp if you want to hear me sing a pretty mediocre thrash metal song that I'm known for locally where I'm from. And there was one guy in my scene that's like, oh, dude, did you hear the new Sepultura? I'm talking about like Chaos AD. And he's like, I haven't liked Sepultura since before Schizophrenia. Dude, did you hear the new Pantera? I haven't liked Pantera since Projects in the Jungle. Okay. Do you like band, do you like Sacred Reich? I don't like Sacred Reich since Surf Nicaragua. So he was that guy with the fucking neg, whatever you said, with his, name 3 songs fucking shit. And Finn McKenty was the same way. I used to just remember being such a fan of Inside Out, and then I was driving down the road and somebody had given me the cassette tape of the first Rage Against the Machine album, and I heard like the first minute of Bomb Track, took the tape out and threw it out the fucking window on the highway in New York. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you are such a fucking tryhard guy. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. And he's kind of got some alpha male shit about him. And I think his wife is 20 years younger than him, and he was dating her when she was a teenager, and he was 30-something. Ew. Ew. But okay, I'm not trying to judge too hard. Listen, man, if I made like millions of dollars off of my YouTube, burnout is real. Like, if he had just been like, I'm burned out, I'm sick of making this content. He made a bunch of those videos. Sincerely from the heart, I have a baby at home now, and I don't want to be making these videos. And like, aw, he's got a little heart boo-boo. He's got a boo-boo in his heart. Like, yo, this shit is grueling. I feel burned out perpetually. I'm never sleep, and I'm always busy, and I'm chasing stories for nothing because I want to help bands. I want to help tell the story of metal. But like, this is all I care about. I wish some chick would love me the way I love the song, but that's my story, I guess. So Finn, I don't know. Anyway, Slipknot. Jim Root was asked in an interview because the band has been on tour. We just covered them this week in the UK. Very proud of that. The coverage will be coming this week soon, hopefully. And, or next week early. And Jim was asked about Look Outside Your Window. And he's like, I'm sick of hearing about this. I'm going to just leak it. I have it. I have a copy of it. I'm going to just leak it to Spotify. Fuck this. So Clown had to give an interview to New NME and say, look, I tried everything I could to get it to come out this year. We were just too busy. I gave it to management. And with Christmas and the holidays, we can't just put it out. It's going to come out. The management has it. Corey saw the final artwork. It's coming out. I'm not sure when. So I did a live stream if you want to go back after this is over and check it out. And I speculated that if I were them and they're going to put out this thing as a whole vinyl and a whole thing and a merch capsule and all this shit that they like to do with a pre-order and a single, I would say no earlier than the end of February, probably March or April. But it is going to come out. And then supposedly Slipknot has already begun writing their next record. They announced a single that they wrote already. Didn't say when it would come out, but they have new music written with Eloy Casagrande that I'm very excited to hear about. It could be influenced by the first Slipknot record. That's kind of what they're doing. Brock Throttle is here. That's a cool name. It's like a very wrestling name. Kristen Lisa is here. What up, what up, what up? This is a bummer, but not a total surprise. A year ago, we did a story that a lot of bands and music companies and venues and people took basically government loans during the pandemic that were meant to keep bands sustainable and keep entertainers going. And a lot of people took them. Metallica took a loan. Metallica doesn't need a loan. James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich are probably worth several $100 million apiece. But, you have to understand that personal finances versus a band incorporated versus the band's rights and music publishing are all separate revenue streams with probably separate corporate entities. Yep, I watched Wyatt here and there. I like that guy. It's interesting that he kind of came along after us. And again, a lot of these YouTubers and YouTube reaction videos, they're not journalists, right? So I'm not trying to say I'm better, but I'm saying I come from a journalistic perspective. I think Wyatt is actually really cool. We live near each other. I don't think he's in the Bay Area, but he's between here and LA, I think. And or Sac, and I'm sure I'm going to run into him sooner or later, and I would love to meet him, and I would love to interview him about his channel. Yeah, he went into the Finn stuff. I'm not trying to dog him personally, but a lot worse than what Jeff from Possessed did. Gross. Grown-up men of the world, do not talk to underage women or any child if they're not your child or familiar family relationship, okay? Please don't. And even then, think about it. So the U.S. government gave out these loans. There's not necessarily an expectation they were going to get paid back. Loans. A lot of your politicians took loans for businesses that don't exist, including my least favorite politician in America, not Donald Trump, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, a raging cunt on wheels, who knows nothing about politics or America. But so Alice in Chains, Shinedown, Metallica, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown. A lot of these artists were implicated in this thing where they took money. And then today it was revealed, but Business Insider did a follow-up a year later on this, that basically Alice in Chains basically pocketed the money, which again, it was supposed to help them live during the pandemic. But during this time, their roadie and photographer got cancer, and instead of giving him money, which they could have gave him to help him, they helped do a GoFundMe for him, and then he died. So that sucks. That kind of sucks. But on the other hand, who am I to judge? You know, they needed money. You know, famously, there was a situation where Mark Rizzo quit Soulfly because he was broke during the pandemic and felt like, you know, Max is Soulfly. Max and Gloria are all of the Max entities corporately. And I think that Rizzo was a paid contractor as a bandmate, and he could have given him some money, but he chose not to. Max also has, you know, a home and a mortgage and a huge family, some of whom he's still supporting. So who am I to judge? I don't count people's pockets. I don't know what they do with the money. But this Business Insider tried to paint, you know, like, I will tell you this, like, I don't know what they did with the money. Like, and then Alice in Chains, on top of taking the loan, had then a few months later sold some of the rights to their music for $48 million, which again doesn't go to just them. It goes to Lane Staley's family and Mike Starr's family. But it kind of looks bad, right? It looks pretty bad. And Alice in Chains is one of my favorite fucking bands. We interviewed William. I'm so proud of that moment. Wake up, Wayne. Wake up. You know, it hurts to see your favorite people do less than savory things. But again, everyone did this. Like, Lil Wayne threw himself a $1 million birthday party with the money from the government and bragged about it. That's fucking stupid. And did not pay any of his touring people money to live during that time. That sucks. Metallica had their All Within My Hands charity concert last weekend, Helping Hands concert and auction. They played some covers. They played some new arrangements of songs. They jammed with Jeff Ament and some other backup musicians. It live streamed today on YouTube. So if you didn't see it in real time when it aired, you can now watch it forever. And the auction is still on. You can definitely donate some money to win and get some cool stuff. You can now get a piece of heavy equipment modeled and designed by James Hetfield. Case and CMC. This is called a heavy loader, and it's like specifically designed. Even like the artwork is inspired by James's tattoos and the Metallica and James Hetfield logos and stuff like that. The Metallifunknica guy, I think, has a thing in here. It's wild. I did not think that I needed to know about this thing, but they sent me the press release and asked me to share it. So here we fucking are. And also, I think Metallica released some new ESP guitars this week that they played at that show. This is fucking super cool. This is a photo of Black Sabbath if you're watching on everywhere except TikTok. Hulu is doing a documentary on the history of heavy metal. Hulu killed it this year. They've been killing it with their music content. You know, they did the Pam and Tommy series, which was kind of a dramatic series. They did the Lollapalooza documentary that was fucking amazing. There was a few other things they did. So I'm very excited about a Hulu-created documentary. Brian Slagle, the CEO of Metal Blade and the founder of Metal Blade Records, tweeted about helping with this. He's also got a new podcast series called the 100 essential songs in heavy metal that I highly recommend you listen to wherever you listen to podcasts when you're not listening to the Ghost Cult podcast, which is what you should be doing. Hulu documentary about metal. I am here for it. We'll bring you a review. Maybe we'll do a live stream about it. The band you love to hate from 15 years ago, I Wrestled the Bear Once, is plotting a comeback, and I particularly picked this picture to troll you all with. I Wrestled the Bear Once was the predecessor to your Gingers and your Spirit Boxes. Obviously, current members of Spirit Box were in the final lineup of I Wrestled the Bear Once, but the classic I Wrestled the Bear Once lineup might be coming back. Ricky Rickshaw Martin has a podcast, and he was divulging where he's been talking to Krista Cameron, who also has a podcast. She's a frequent guest, where they were discussing maybe coming back. There's a pile of vinyl on the bed behind me here, and somewhere in that pile of vinyl for an upcoming Ghost Cult episode is there's my face again, is one of these records back here is the I Wrestled the Bear Once pinnacle album, It's All Happening. So It's All Happening, like Almost Famous, they're coming back. I'm super stoked. Even if it's just a show or one song or anything, I want I Wrestle the Bear ones back. Crazy Dayglow shirts and crazy songs. That's what I want. But they did this black metal photo shoot and trolled everybody and said, we're going black metal and, you know, owing to our cult nature and stuff like that. And people were fucking pissed. It was amazing. They were so fucking mad. It was great. I got some more watchers. Fernando's back. Fernando, you are my favorite person online. Thank you for being here yet again, even if you're just passing by. I appreciate you, Fernando. I appreciate you. This is God Forbid, and funny enough, in the picture in the background is Ghost Cult co-owner Omar, who is drum teching for them. This is at Metal Injection Fest in Brooklyn. Doc Coyle gave a new interview. They totally are inspired by Dillinger, right? Absolutely inspired by Dillinger, but absolutely inspired a whole bunch of other bands, Callous Cowboys, and so many fucking current wave of bands. But Doc said after this weekend of reunion shows, like they would like to write some new music. And maybe Naughty Girls Need Love too, but maybe they will make some new music together, but it's difficult now because members of God Forbid have children and they're all spread out all over the country. Doc lives in LA, Core Forbid lives in Vegas, Byron is in Texas, so it's there. Everybody's spread out, but maybe they'll be back. I have not seen God Forbid yet on a year and a half of their comeback shows. We did interview Corey Pierce about it, and Corey Pierce's side band. Obviously Doc is busy with Bad Wolves and his maybe solo career he's considering, and then Corey's other band with Corey Glover of Living Color, Disciples of Verity, is going to drop a single soon. Stay tuned for that. We'll have that news too. Udo Dirkenschneider from Accept, the original Accept singer, is putting out an album honoring his classic Balls to the Wall album with a complete re-record of Balls to the Wall with his current band and a bunch of guest artists. Pretty fucking cool. I've interviewed Udo. I would gladly talk to him again. He was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We talked about Frank Sinatra. We talked about Twisted Sister. We talked about Judas Priest and just Germany. King Diamond dropped a new single. We analyzed and reviewed that, and I did a reaction to that here on YouTube. But Spider Lily is out now. It's the first song from the upcoming new King Diamond album, as yet unreleased, as yet titled, as yet to be dropped. Might be called St. Lucifer's Hospital, I think. King said that he's doing a horror trilogy, but basically isn't his entire brand horror, especially King Diamond? All right. But that's the album artwork. Pretty cool. The single artwork. Nice. Lordi dropped a new single. Don't know if I need a new Lordi album, but the new Lordi album is on the way. Out on Raining Phoenix Music. Conan O'Brien has a TV show on Max or HBO, wherever the fuck it's called now. And he sang with a death metal band in Austria. Look at his face. Look at him. Just look at him. He's so cute singing that metal. Look how hard he's trying. Look at the guy in the background. He's just like, ha ha ha. Look at this guy. Fuck yeah. Conan O'Brien is awesome, man. He used to put on so many metal bands on his show. All the people were mad about Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon having Body Count and Knock Loose, and not in that order. There's a whole legacy of bands on late night TV, especially metal bands. So I think originally it was called the Institute before the pandemic, and then most recently the recent tour was called the St. Lucifer's Hospital Tour. So it could still be the Institute. I'm not sure, but he definitely kind of backpedaled on that Dillinger Compound. But that's a good point. He has played at least one other single live, and he did put out like a standalone single in 2019. I saw Merciful Fate in 2022. It was amazing. First time I had seen them in over 20 years, and I love King Diamond. I haven't seen King Diamond since 2019 in New York City. Bummer. Why do I have these fucking jackanapes up here? Who are these fuckers? These fuckers, I don't know if you know, is we've been talking about all the uphill battles that we face in the music business and just as fans. And so this is pretty interesting. So this is sorry, I have to click clack to make sure I get her fucking name right because I don't want to fuck it up. The first time I'm unprepared. Pam Bondi, that's it. Trump's lawyer, Pam Bondi, is here with the douche stain of the universe, Kid Rock. Why are they in this photo together? Well, apparently Pam is going to be the absolutely New Testament record in 2025. Pam Bondi is the likely attorney general since Matt Gaetz had to step down and fuck that fucking 16-head motherfucker instead of a 4-head, fucking pedo and rapist. But Kid Rock said that he's going to make friends with Pam Bondi. Kid Rock is also friends with incoming President Trump squared, and he's going to talk to her about Ticketmaster and lowering ticket prices. He did do a tour where I think it was like $25 for a shirt, a beer, and a concert ticket. Not bad. You couldn't pay me to go see Kid Rock in 2025, but if he's actually going to do anything on behalf of the common man or the common person, that would be fucking cool. But I doubt it, because he's a little gajillionaire son. He never been from the trailer park. He's full of shit. But whatever. I thought it was important. New Testament in 2025. There's going to be a most anticipated 2025 live stream and article at Ghost Cult, probably New Year's Day, maybe on the 31st, maybe on the 2nd. See how hard I want to work over the holidays. I usually work nonstop, never taking a break. Sacrifice, speaking of Canada, Canada! Sacrifice, the classic thrash metal band from Canada, has announced their brand new album, Volume 6. They dropped a new single. I am so hyped for this. They played one show in my backyard and I couldn't go. Sad, Keefy. But I'm super pumped. You might have seen me sometimes wear a Sacrifice shirt on these shows or in my interviews. All right. Almost done, folks. Almost done. I promise. This is Burning Witches. New single out now. New album coming soon. This is freaking amazing. So Naughty Dog is the video game company that brought you so many killer games, has teamed up with 9 Inch Nails to score their brand new game, Intergalactic Bounty Hunter. And I saw the gameplay trailer, and it's got crazy, like, Blade Runner on drugs score by Trent Atticus. Officially 9 Inch Nails. They've had a huge year. No new 9 Inch Nails music yet. Trent has been famous the last year for having like just vitriolic shit to say about the music industry and how angry he's been and how disappointed he is in music fans. But he scored Challengers, which was one of my favorite soundtracks this year. He did Tron Ares, which I haven't seen yet, but some of the soundtrack I heard was amazing. He's got several games and movie scores in the works and television shows he's scoring. And now this game. And this game looks sick. I don't game anymore because if I did, I would never leave the house and I'd be fucked. This is fucked, man. So Chuck Reagan just finished, Hot Water Music, just finished a solo tour right in my backyard here, just a few blocks away from my home in San Francisco at Brick and Mortar. Cool venue. I didn't get to go to the show. I had other plans that night. Some friends of mine went, and it was, Chuck always puts on a great show. I'm still hoping to get an interview with him. It's tougher and tougher, maybe next year. And they stayed overnight. Chuck he splits his time between Florida and the Sacramento area. And they parked their van with all their gear in a secure, guarded lot, and they came out in the morning and their van was ransacked and they lost probably $50,000 worth of gear, rare guitars, like Martin guitars, like some of the highest quality shit you could have, shit that he's had for years. Just fucking terrible. So if you hear of anything, there's a list on Chuck's social media where you can see the list of stuff that was stolen. If you get a tip, if you see someone trying to pawn or sell your stuff, his stuff, please let us know. This is a little bit of a bummer. Again, a little New York-centric news here. Baker Falls had been a small place that had kind of taken over the old Pyramid Club in New York City. Pyramid was an infamous industrial music goth club in the Lower East Side, right down the block from A7, the legendary punk hangout, right by just everything cool about New York City. I spent many times. I played the Pyramid Club when they had metal bands. I went and danced at the Pyramid Club. I tried to find me a big titty goth girlfriend there, to no avail. Some of the best times of my life had in that place. They closed down. Baker Falls took over and sort of had the Pyramid inside of Baker Falls. That is now closed. The Knitting Factory was technically part of this. They had closed, but now a new Knitting Factory is going to open. So I'm just sad to hear about this. And then also, if you used to go to metal shows in Times Square in New York City, you hung out at Smith's Bar. Smith's Bar, like Daredevil, was part of Hell's Kitchen for 60 plus years. And this was the spot we used to get off the train right across the street at the 44th Street exit from the Times Square train station in New York, wherever you were coming in from, converging into the city. And then we would drink there and get cheap eats there that were good. And then we would go to either PlayStation Theater or Sony Music Hall, whatever. Roseland before that closed in the 90s, but in the 2000, whatever the aughts. And now they're closed, and a pot dispensary is going to open there. Another pot dispensary, because Manhattan needs one more. I love my weed, but like, I'm just sad to see these places kind of go out of business. Just bums me out a little bit, you know? Also, we were talking about Ruptura Comics earlier. Ruptura Comics has restarted the business Incendium had, and they are bringing back the Cradle of Filth comic series. I was very hype about this. I collect all kinds of comics, and I collect a lot of music band comics because I love music and band stuff and comics. Did you guys see the Superman trailer today? I'm not really a DC guy. I'm really a Marvel guy. Wasn't that? It looks great. I don't really want one more origin story about Superman. And if they have a Batman and I see a fucking mom and dad get shot down in an alley, I'm going to shoot someone else. But anyway, Superman looks cool. James Gunn, I definitely believe in him as a movie maker. I did see Craven, and I thought it was actually mostly excellent. I don't know why people are shitting on it, but whatever. Biohazard in the studio. Speaking of Biohazard, from Brooklyn, New York, in the studio making their comeback record with their classic lineup. I'm super pumped for this. Probably their first lineup with Evan Seinfeld since like 15 years. So very, very exciting times there in the studio in LA. And I will definitely get an interview with the guys. They're friends. They're friends of mine. I consider Billy has been an ally to Ghost Cult and really cool. Just for no reason, share this photo of Ernie C. and Kirk Hammett hugging each other and posing for a photo with the horns, you know, because it's just, look at how happy they look. They're so sweet. All right. This is a album cover by Lord Sin. Their new album is out this week. We took a break from our New Music Friday video stuff for a few weeks just to give ourselves a break while we try to clear the decks. And I just wanted to rattle off some of the new music that's out this week. There are a few albums out this week and next week, but not enough for us to do the whole video. It's a kind of a chore, I got to be honest. But if you're interested in some new metal releases this week, La Culpa, In Absentia Lucis, some black metal and experimental sludge. Besseris, Troglodyte on Everlasting Spew Records. We just shared that. Hexenbrett. Let's see how good my German is. Dritte Beschwung dem Teufel einer Tochter on Dying Victims record. Some straight up black metal. Horse Butcher, if you like gore grind, self-titled on Sentient Ruin. Subway to Sally for some folk metal. Their new album, Postmortem, on Napalm Records. That is basically what is coming out this week. There might be a few more things, but like I said, it's just getting light. Next week, you know, there's always some black metal band that's like, I have to put out a record on Christmas because fuck Jesus. Just not necessary, but okay. You do you, everybody. You do you. Anyway. And now for the mailbag, and then the show is over. Everybody that's been hanging in, I greatly appreciate you. I got something cool in the mail. Didn't set up my second camera angle, but let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it quickly without fucking up. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, drop the phone. What a disaster. Let us see. I have a cool thing that I got in the mail. So I don't know if you guys are, while I'm doing this, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Concept Cafes. Concept Cafes, you've seen the Ghost Cult Laughing Monkey Machine Ministry Coffee collab we did with them. Oh, shit. Will it work? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Can I get it to work? Not too shabby. Not too great. All right. Let's see. We'll move the phone. That's not that bad. That's not too bad. That's not too good. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out my shit here. I don't like that either. All right. All right, let's try it out, everybody. Sorry, y'all on TikTok. That was an unflattering angle, but this is what you get. So, Concept Cafes. 1 second. All right, yeah, there we go. Okay, so Concept Cafes sent me another box of their coffee, and it's the Testament coffee. So I'm really excited about this. I've had the Cannibal Corpse coffee, and I've had the Ministry coffee, and now they sent me this beautiful box of the Brazen Testament coffee. Look at this guy. Not too shabby, right? That's the beautiful can. Let's just check it. What else is in here? It's just shipped in this confetti. I'm going to try not to let this black confetti get all over my bedroom like the Shine Down Hot Sauce confetti did. There'll be more product videos coming soon. We got the kitty beer video coming up soon. We did the we have the Kulo Clean experimental product coming soon that you should check out, the portable bidet. This is taped. I appreciate that this is taped so it won't spill out everywhere. Fucking cool. I'm just going to open this puppy up and see what it smells like. Got the pop top. Is that the tester button? The tester? No. I don't know. No. All right, let's see. Oh, that's like a good French roast, which is my favorite jam in coffee. I don't know about you guys. I think I like it. All right, so we're going to grind this up. Not now. And check it out. Official tour coffee of the legendary Metal Titans Testament at testamentlegions.com by Concept Cafes, roasted by Couturier Coffee Company, 1250 Bell Avenue 101 in Winter Springs, Florida. I'm all about this. I'm gonna tape this bad boy back up, and we're gonna try it out. We're gonna make a video, and then we're gonna share it with you. Probably gonna take us about a month or so to do. But yeah, man, this is a gorgeous can. You know, Concept Cafes told me they were literally swimming in orders for the holidays. And like I said, if you're out of ideas and you don't know what to do and you need a quick gift for the holiday, you can always order something for your favorite person or your sweetheart, and then tell them you're going to get it shipped to them. That wasn't a complete disaster. Back to me. Jesus Christ. Hey, Curtis is here. What up, Curtis? My best friend. My best friend. There's not, I would say, like, when you buy the coffee that's not in the tin, they send you a whole package of stuff. But they sent me just the tin. I really appreciate you, Concept Cafes. This is beautifully packed, by the way, so the tin doesn't get dented. It's kind of a collector's item. I can't wait to put it on my shelf up here. Sorry about the messy room a little bit, and sorry about the TikTok wild shit here, but I appreciate you being here. Blast Zone Mike 202 2020 is here. Jeannie is here. Jeannie Beleva. And that's our show, man. That's the show. That's the can sitting on a bed of beans. That's pretty fucking fresh, right? That's good marketing. But that's the whole show. In a somewhat reasonable hour and 30 minutes. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to be back the next 2 weeks with shows. I'm going to continue to do what I do. So I will be here. If it's Christmas Day, I'll be here. If it's New Year's, I'll do a New Year's live stream. And yeah, Dillinger with the Testament comment, that was like, I don't know if you have to ESP or something, but you knew what I was going to do. I totally knew what he was going to do. But anyway, that's our show. Thanks for being here. I'll be back with at least another live stream tomorrow. I've been trying to go live every day. I'm sure I'll have something to talk about. Maybe one of those topics I talked about on the show. Thanks for watching. Last week's episode was one of our most watched episodes in a while. So clearly I must be doing something right. And I want to just say thank you to everyone that's been here and is enjoying our stuff. You could watch anybody else's show, including Wyatt's Metal. And it's a brazen, badass return to serenity. Curtis, I love you. Like I said, there's so many channels to watch. No more watching the Punk Rock MBA, especially if he's going to delete his channel. It's so shitty. But yeah, thanks for being here. Tell your friends if you like what you saw. Give us a like and a sub. I appreciate it. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And stay as metal as humanly possible. And as always, I'm going to dance a jig on the way out because that's how I do. I dance a jig.